Well, we actually got a nice day. I don't know how much the other camera caught. I ran it while I was blocking up this wood with that little 562 XP. And then I started splitting it with the Husqvarna split and maul right to the right hand side. And then my little $30 combination of junk pile axe on the left there. And what I've kind of come to the conclusion is that I'd rather be working on a day like this than 1 degree and a howling wind at night. That was my first conclusion. My second conclusion, because somebody asked, is it kind of goes like this. I enjoy running that axe more. But when the grain starts getting kind of like this right here, where you have that twisted grain, that Husqvarna split and maul just blows right through it like it did on this one right here. So that's a better tool for the bigger logs. It's a better tool for the logs with a less than straight grain. Conversely, I can blow through ash in a hurry with that axe. It's lighter. It's easier for me to wield and hit things with. I can hit accurately with it. I like the little bit longer handle. I like the way it has a hook on the end. So just the way it feels, I like the axe better if I can use it. You know what I'm saying? I would prefer to use that thing over the Husqvarna, which I've been using for 10 years. But boy, I'll tell you what, when it gets right down to it, it's like no replacement for displacement. That thing has another pound of steel in it. It's cutting head there, you know. Taking a little break. You have to take care of the saws. Part of that process is getting them ready for the next round of work. And I had to buy a new preferred. Mine came apart, failed, but life does not stop, so I have to keep sharpening my saws. I can't just put new chains on. Well, I could, I suppose. It's just, I don't really see why I should. So to sharpen this thing, this actually doesn't look that, oh yeah, I guess it got rocked pretty good. This chain's got a fair amount of time on it. This is what you get with an Autotune, by the way. This is 15 degrees out. To the 565 and the Husky C83 chain. I've not been ambiguous about this. This has been just an awesome deal for me, this saw right here. So, but it is a pain in the ass to sharpen. This is why I like Autotunes. Well, another saw ready for work. And I don't know if anyone paid attention, but it basically tuned itself. I was wanting to get my John thread going, but I'm afraid that's not going to happen today. Kind of wanted to run a vintage saw today, so maybe I'll pick on something different. You know, there's actually a couple of saws that haven't had enough love, I think. And one of them is this old 1978 model 61 I've got right here. And this one had a unfortunate event where it rolled off the tractor into the mud. Kind of got beat up a little bit. And I haven't run it since, so maybe we need to see if we can get it started. Let it shake off all the frozen mud and stuff like that. And see if it can actually cut some wood today. Did a couple more pulls, but it obviously didn't want to run today. Alright, I think this guy is ready to go cut some wood. But yeah, that's the thing, is when you drop 30 degrees, 40 degrees on an older saw like that, yeah, you've got to retune it. You've got to tune it to match the weather situation that you're in. This is one raspy little saw. Ha! That's a lot of raker, but it has the torque to pull it, so I guess this has a little more guts than I thought it did. And when you get a chain like that, see if that'll pick up with them real aggressive rakers. It's a little bit too grabby for me for felling, but for blocking, I'll tell you what, it gets to that stuff in a hurry. Out a little bit now. It got warm, but that's a little 61 action right there. That's a good running old saw. I got a tweak and tune. I got the ice out of it is what it is. It sat for a while. Actually, this what happened to this saw right here is it tumbled out of the bucket and I rolled over it with the tractor and it got mud and water everywhere. It was basically underwater when I picked it up. So I've been trying to clean it off ever since. This is its first time to come out to play, so I still have a little work to do on the carburetor. But this darn thing runs good. You can't argue with that. chain's a little bit dull, but it still cuts. I'm gonna come get rid of this firewood, come back, get another load, and I don't know, maybe I'll tune that chain up a little bit before we come back out. Maybe not. I don't know if you noticed how fast that aggressive chain on the 562 cut. The chain was really aggressive, so it cut really, really fast to this frozen hardwood. And that saw has the power to pull it. A standard 562 could not do that. But that one's a little bit warmed up, and now that it's all broke in and making the power it's supposed to, it's beginning to show its worth and its colors. And but I would never use a chain like that fell, and it'd pop right back out at me every time I try to bore cut. It's just too aggressive. So, you know, the different chain grinds, and then, you know, different styles of grind have different purposes in my world. But anyway, figured I'd run the vintage saw a little bit, and the weather's nice enough I can start playing with saw again versus having to work. Huge difference in attitude. So we'll tune this one up next time. Look at this, a nice day. Well, we got more work to do, so I'm going to set the camera over here somewhere so you don't hear truck noise nonstop. But we have a big snowstorm coming in, and I'm actually pretty good, but I want to get at least 2 more days of firewood. You know, get this pile, and then there's one across the field to get, then I'll feel comfortable. I know he's coming. I just passed him. He was going like a house afire coming into Homer. So let's see if we can catch him coming out of Homer. I hear him. Don't know if I can see him. There he comes. Let's see if we can get a good video from this one.